Hi, this is Sarah from politicallyincorrecthealth.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make butter and buttermilk, because if you make one, you're going to get a product of the other. So it's actually very simple to do. First, we're going to culture the buttermilk, and right here I have about 4 cups or 1 quart of cream that I separated from the milk. I showed you how to do that in a previous video. I've left it on the counter a little bit just because some of the cream was previously frozen. You kind of want it to be in a warm area. I'm covering it with a towel so it can breathe because we're just going to culture it a little bit. And what you have to do, you have to make sure it's in a warm part of the kitchen, or else it's going to take longer to culture. So if the kitchen isn't warm, you want to put it in a warm part of your house. You want to leave it there 12 up to 24 hours probably, if it's not warm enough. And we're just going to wait, and then I'm going to show you the rest. Hey, we're back. So the cream has been sitting out on the counter for about 24 hours. If you don't want to culture the butter or anything, you don't have to do this step at all. You can just use the cream straight ahead. Just going to pour it right in here. And my food processor actually has a max liquid fill line right here. Just gonna process it. It's gonna take about 10 minutes, I think. It just depends on how much liquid you have, really. Oh, and by the way, this isn't the only way you can make butter. You can actually use just a jar with a sealed lid, like a mason jar, and you can just shake it. That would be a fun project for kids, but personally, I like to just speed things up. Another way, you can do it right in your Vitamix or your blender. You can do it with a hand blender too. So there's many ways to do this. Let's check on this. All right, it looks ready to me. I just want to show you. You can see how the butter separated from the buttermilk. See, the butter are the solid yellow pieces, and the buttermilk is the not exactly white color, but it's the milky type of color. And we're actually going to separate that. It's not very solid just because it's been sitting out at room temperature for about 24 hours. Let me get a strainer. I just don't want to lose any of my butter. This is from about 2 cups of cream here. But as I showed you before, I couldn't do the whole batch all at once. And if you're wondering what you can do with buttermilk, usually people use it in baking, like cookies and just cakes, other things like that. Also, if you're soaking any of your grains, you can use it sometimes as an acidic medium instead of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. Just usually whatever you have on hand. There's a tiny bit more liquid left. We want to get that out. Right. Now, I'm going to put a little filtered water in it. And what I'm going to do is actually called washing the butter. This is an important step to do, so make sure you don't skip it. There's a little buttermilk in here too. I'm just going to get all the solids that came up on top. I usually do this about one time, but you can do it a couple times just to be sure. And this time. I think this is actually good. I don't need to do it a second time. But if you want to make sure that the flavor is less cultured, I would recommend doing this step. This would not be your buttermilk, so you don't want to pour that and mix it in with your buttermilk. Next, what you want to do is just put this in any sort of dish for storage, and you can add salt to it, you can add any sort of flavor to it to make it compound butter, and that's all you have to do to make butter and buttermilk. And I hope you keep it real in the kitchen.